There's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello, BookTube. I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. This is a special, fun, light video with some informative bits strewn throughout. This is a series of outtakes from my lovely chat for a special episode of Bite-Sized Book Chats. This was a chat with Chris and Emily of the fantastic book podcast, the Book Cougars, that was recorded on September 28th. And even as we just barely got started on the video, I joked with them because the rapport was instantaneous. I had chatted with Chris and done buddy reads with Chris. I knew Chris some fairly well, but I'd never met Emily, and the three of us together, it was dangerously hilarious and not just hilarious. So I joked with them that maybe I need to make an outtake video as well as a special episode of Bite-Sized Book Chats. So here is that special outtake video. It consists of some of our pre-interview chats, some of the chatting between each of the books we talked about, and then a longer section at the end where we were done recording the episode, but we still had more to say to each other. And like I say, it's an admixture of, fun. Just every time I think about how lovely that chat was, I just start giggling. So yeah, there was lots of fun repartee and other stuff. So a little bit of a glimpse of what goes into making this kind of a booktube video, and also Emily and Chris have some comments about podcasting and microphones and stuff, but mainly entertainment and some extra book content. So without further ado, here it is. Happy holidays.
Oh, you know what, Sean? We just had a technical difficulty.
I don't know if that was me plugging that in.
Yeah, I think we should have shut it off first.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go.
Wait,
We're back now.
okay.
It's weird.
Okay, you asked if we are going to record it. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, you went mono and now you're back to stereo.
Okay.
So
I'm just looking at my list of literary mysteries for you. So I just wanted to make sure it's pulled up on my phone.
well, isn't that special?
Is there going to be a little book bullying going on here?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm
I
not
think-
a
I
book
think-
bully.
I think we might have to also have a video of outtakes for the premium subscribers.
Totally.
Oh, dear.
Yes,
So I'm looking forward to
outtake.
seeing what comes out of our mouths today. As you probably both know, but Chris does, I heavily edit the videos. So if there's any coughing or brain farts, which are usually Sean's, not the guests, anybody needs a bathroom break, don't worry about it.
Any of that.
Wait,
Okay.
I can put my condom on a little straighter here.
Brain farts.
Yeah, there we go.
Sean's never had me on yet. I'm
That I've been trying. This is like big get for me.
oh, so nice. Thank you.
Oh.
Chris was much easier.
Well, you reeled me in it quite easily with the whole Willa Cather thing.
There
I
you
think
go.
that was what got me started.
Well, it's one of my most famous videos, and I'm not even in it. Funny how that works.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we have authors that are bigger draws than us for sure.
I'm already looking forward to this outtake video. I thought I was going to be nervous, but you guys are making me very relaxed. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Same here,
Yeah.
because I think it's so nice to have chit chat in the beginning. We always try to do that with guests
Yeah.
because it does help people's
Absolutely.
minds kind of
Yeah.
relax and
For
everything.
sure. Yeah.
My
and
my spiel with guests, especially. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. My spiel with guests, especially if they're nervous, first time kind of doing anything like this, is I just tell them all the bunch of anecdotes about what a fuck up I am. So I'm not professional at all. I don't know how many videos I've been editing, and I got my lips or above my lip is smeared with toothpaste. And there was one time that I was making a video outside in a park on a hot summer day in Tokyo, and every time I was talking about a book, and every time I turned my head, there was a big glob of shaving cream in my ear. And and I was using a GIF about the book. So then I was moving the GIF on in my head. Yeah, this is not a professional operation. Nobody needs to be intimidated.
Well, the video is like a whole other thing. I am so glad that we can have all that happening and nobody knows.
Yes.
Absolutely, and it's so much easier to edit that out. Because
Yeah.
if I do too much micro editing, then the final product, my head is jumping around because of all the
Right.
things cut out. So
Yeah.
it's easier to edit when there's a conversation, but when I'm just talking to the camera, my speech is usually so halting. Oh,
Mhm.
I've been doing it for 5 years and I still haven't gotten past that. So my video, I'm heads bouncing out because I cut all that stuff out. So
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I don't think I haven't noticed that a ton with yours, but I've seen usually younger people, not to be ageist towards them, but they're
younger
so
people like me.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're middle-aged. It's in our name.
Yeah, we are proud middle-agers here, all three of us.
Oh my goodness.
Speak for yourself. I'm probably the oldest one in the bunch.
Did you want us to show and tell like I have?
Oh, thank you. That was the other thing. Do you have physical books? Because if
I have
you don't have the
of one and then I have the physical of the other. So
yes. So, and how about you, Chris?
I do. I have both.
Okay.
Physical.
So, what I tell my guests is if you have the physical book, and I guess if you have that on your iPad, that's fine too. If you want to hold it up for a moment or two at the beginning, that's great. And then please just put it down and don't hold it up and put it down.
Right.
Because I think the GIF shows up better on
Yeah.
the screen.
Yeah.
So, and then
Yeah.
I've had guests that they hold it up and then they put it down, and then 2 minutes later they hold it up and put it down, and then I'm trying to get the GIF into the video. It makes it
Okay.
it's a very small point. So however it works out will be just fine.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's good. We need coaching on video
Yes, that's
for
right.
sure.
So
Try not
is
to
there
move around
anything
too much.
else? And I was hoping you'd be together in the same thing. So probably most of this will be side by side. I may try when I'm at the editing stage. Certainly I'll go big screen of the two of you. So while your partner in crime is talking, you might not want to pick your nose because it might be zoomed in on the two of you for part of while Chris is talking, Emily shouldn't be waxing her.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. It's all good.
That's fine.
On this one video, I was like scratching like a goat or something. I'm just like, oh God, Chris, this is fun. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I think I talk
stuff.
with my hands more than I think. And then I'm like,
I think unless you'd like to ask me any questions about my sex life or anything, that would be a very short conversation. But we can.
Well,
we can-
where are things with your husband? Is he going to be joining you soon?
Well, I don't know about soon, but the immigration I'm going to be sponsoring him as his husband to get into Canada, and that process has involved a lot of document gathering and translating of stuff. So we're almost at the stage where the lawyer will submit the application, and then it might just be a matter of a few more months before he could come.
Okay.
So we're hoping by Christmas.
Okay.
Wow.
Good. Fingers crossed.
yeah.
I would love for you guys to meet him someday, but I don't know what kind of a Zoom chat that would be, but that would be fun.
Well, Canada's not that far. Canada's much closer than Japan. So
Yeah.
That is.
odds have really gone up significantly already.
And I know, Chris, you have read some Western Canadian literature. So
Mhm.
yeah, you guys should make a tour.
I applied to colleges up there for grad school, but nobody accepted me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, for the PhD program anyway. Yeah. Because I took like this Great Plains Lit course in my master's program that's where I read a lot of the Western Canadian Lit.
So do I have toothpaste on my face? I don't think so.
Not that we can
turn
see.
turn so we can make sure there's no shaving.
Let's check
cream in
your ears.
Right
Okay,
Clear.
clear.
We're ready for
Yes.
takeoff.
It doesn't matter if I have bad breath because we're on Zoom.
I did brush
All
my
right.
teeth, Chris. All right.
So if you two are ready, we'll get started.
Indeed.
All right.
Well, this is a hallmark event in the life of my channel. My name is Sean the Book Maniac, and welcome to a very special episode of Bite-Sized Book Chats. That was fabulous. Oh my God, this is going so well.
Emily, do you think we should open the blinds? I feel like we're getting a little dark.
Oh, sure.
Are we?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't feel that you are, but you do whatever you do.
Oh,
You
okay.
do whatever
Let's
makes
see.
you come.
I don't want us to get all squinty eyed either. Let's see.
Right. So yeah, you sort yourselves out any
Yeah,
way
that's
you'd
cool.
like.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a first, talking about a horror novel on my channel. But it does with the indigenous aspect and stuff. It does sound fascinating. So
It's a good
Yeah,
one, but
totally.
it is scary.
Janae.
Oh, now the garbage truck's
The garbage truck is here. Can you hear it?
no,
I'm not
maybe
sure.
a little
I
bit,
think
but
that's the point of our mics is you really can't. It's
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, they're supposed to be
Yes.
very one directional.
That's one reason we have these mics, Sean, is that they focus in on our voices. They're not, like the ball that we had before was kind of multi-directional, although you could set it to be one directional, it still
That's
picked
right.
up so much. And this really only picks up like what's right in front of it. So that's why we can sit so close together without having feedback. And we have a sound editor now who works on our stuff.
Yeah, and he said as long as we just turn them just a titch, that if they're kind of like, he calls them stupid mics, like they just go one way.
They do one thing.
All right, you two, I'm ready. I'm waiting.
Okay.
they don't go both ways.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so
I knew one of you would catch that one.
Wait,
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That took
And,
longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's a little too early in the morning. I think I need another cup of coffee.
All right. Have you ever had a guest who smoked?
During
while you were
the interview?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Are you
Do either of
filming
you smoke?
No, I just asked because I was on this one, it was a writing event with a bunch of writers and kind of like a workshop type thing. And this one guy was walking around smoking a cigarette. Like he must have been walking with his iPhone or something smoking. And I was like, oh, he's making it look so good. Because we used to smoke once upon a time. So I was just kind of curious if any of your guests ever just kind of lit up.
No, that's fascinating. I've never had, the only experience I've had is once I was at a literary reading in person in, goodness, back in the early 90s maybe, and the author said, I know I'm not supposed to smoke in here, but fuck that. And she started smoking during her presentation or her reading, and it's fine. I mean, I was a heavy smoker at the time. I didn't mind, but I don't think everybody was so happy about it. But
I had a teacher in college who smoked. I can still picture her standing at the chalkboard talking about.
Okay. Yeah. No, in my
what
day
subject
at
it
university, the smoking was not allowed in the classroom, but I remember professors that would take a 5-minute break halfway through and they'd just step into the hallway and smoke. Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, I don't think
Those were
she
the days.
cared. This teacher, I think she did whatever the hell she wanted to because she was, an older lady at the time already. So she was like, my classroom, God damn it.
Fuck the rules.
Well, I quit smoking 8 years ago, almost today or next week or something, and I quit about 10 years too late, but better late than never.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then I put on about 10 pounds a year ever since then. That's when you quit smoking, as I'm sure you know.
Sure.
And you've obviously been more successful with keeping it off than I have.
Well,
yeah. But anyway, thank you so much. That was just awesome.
Really fun.
Always love talking books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, I did want to tell you.
Oh yeah. That's one thing you asked about what's coming up for us.
So we do quarterly read-alongs on the Book Cougars, where we read a book together and we invite our listening community to join us. We have a Zoom conversation once a quarter. We pick a book, and our last quarter of 2022 is Murder on the Red River by Marcy R. Rendon. We've been focusing on Indigenous authors all year.
Yes.
And this is a Cash Black Bear mystery, Sean.
Yeah, it's by an Indigenous author. So You guys aren't leaving much room for me to keep up with my literary fiction with all this interesting sounding genre fiction you're throwing my way.
Well, and I have a list for you whenever you're ready. That I
I'm
think
not sure I'm ready, Chris.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
whenever you want to have that conversation. I mean, have you read Sarah Waters' Fingersmith?
No, I haven't read that one. I didn't like one of hers, and I'm kind of one and done that way. What was the one? The Stranger in the House or something? Stranger.
Oh yeah, fuck that book. I don't like any of her more recent stuff.
Oh, okay.
I like her earlier work, like Fingersmith and Tipping the Velvet.
Fingersmith sounds really lesbian-y.
Yeah. Well, and Tipping the Velvet, that is
Yeah. I don't know what it means, but I'm sure you'll tell me.
Well,
you don't have to tell me right now, but
I
know
velvet is tipping his tongue and think about what could be velvet.
You're allowed to say it out loud.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed.
Well, I guess the technical term would be cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus.
Yes. Cunnilingus. Yeah. I love that book. I've read Tipping the Velvet probably like 5 or 6 times. I love it so
Fingersmith
much.
at the book sale this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
And that Fingersmith was an international hit in the crime writing world. It won tons of awards. And it is the only book Laura has ever thrown across the room. We were on vacation when she was reading it. In bed, it was night, sitting there, both reading our little books, and all of a sudden, this book went whoosh, bam, against the wall. I was like, what is going on? You know, like, I don't know if she was throwing it at a bat or something. I had no idea. She's like, oh my God, you'll never believe what just happened. And I was like, are you okay? And she's like, yes. And she marched out of bed and picked up the book and plopped back down and kept reading. So
and
I was like,
had you read it or no?
I hadn't read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I came to Sarah Waters by way of Laura because one of the things I loved about working at the bookstore is, you know, Monday night or Tuesday, we'd stay late Monday night or come in early Tuesday morning and put out all the new books. And there was one, I think it was her book Affinity, which might have been her first novel. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, this looks like something Laura might like. So I got it for her. And then that just led us into reading her. And I usually read them after Laura. And then, oh my God, when I was in Germany and her book, not The Little Stranger, her more recent one that came out, I don't remember. It was released in Germany before the United States. And it was a huge mofo hardcover. And I lugged that damn thing back on the airplane. And I had tried to start reading it, but I couldn't get into it. And then Laura didn't get into it. But I don't like Sarah Waters' more recent books. I like her.
The Paying Guests?
Yes. Yeah. The Paying Guests. It did not into that.
Yeah, and The Little Stranger was the one that I bailed on. I just couldn't get into it. But I will try those 2 that you were raving about. Yes.
2 of my favorites. Love those 2.
And did you throw the book across the room when you got to that?
No,
part?
I did not. But man, Sarah Waters, she could write. And and unfortunately, she's given up on her Victorian heritage. That's what her PhD was in. I think she studied like queer 19th century writers. And, you know, her early novels were so rich from that time period. But then she started writing about early 20th century stuff. And I just don't think they're as strong.
Right. Have you read Jane Rule?
I have. Not a lot. But I have
her novel, the one hers that I loved. I didn't necessarily love all of them, but the one of her last novels about Alzheimer's was again. I was very young. Who knows whether I'd still like it, but I loved it at the time. Memory Board.
I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, I read
a couple, and one of them has Alzheimer's. And
I read it was either a memoir by her or a biography. I think it was a memoir. Did she write a memoir?
Near the end of her life, she did, and I have not read it yet. Did you like that one?
I did, if that's what I'm thinking of. That
Taking My Life was her memoir, and then there's a collection of essays called A Hot-Eyed Moderate.
Yeah,
Taking My Life. Title.
Yeah, A Hot-Eyed Moderate. It is a good title.
I was at the Gay Games in Vancouver in 1990, and I was part of the press. I was with the Gay Press, not very officially, but that's how I got a free pass into the cultural festival. And I went to a presentation, a panel and she was there in a wheelchair,
Oh.
and I was wearing it was a very trendy t-shirt at that time. I was wearing the "No One Knows I'm Gay" t-shirt, and she pointed at me and chortled, and I had my moment with Jane Rule.
Oh,
That's
that's
so
awesome.
cool.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Didn't live very long after that. Yeah. So, and the last thing that I would just have to pass on to you, but you probably already are well aware of it. You are reading Indigenous stuff this year. I am absolutely obliterated so far by the short story collection by Morgan Talty. Do you know that one? It just came out.
Night on the Living Res.
That one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have it in my stack to take on vacation.
Oh,
Yeah,
it could end up being my book of the year.
yeah,
that
I've heard
good.
wonderful things about it. It just won the New England Book Award,
Oh,
I
did
believe.
it?
Did
Okay.
it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Linked short stories, and the resonance between them is so potent, and it's just, I can't believe it's a debut short story collection.
Now, is it dark though? I thought it was a little dark.
Well, they're not happy stories
Yeah,
so far, but there's moments of lightness and moments of real quite poignant moments as well. So I
Okay.
don't know where it's going. I'm
Yeah.
doing it as a book read with my friend, the booktuber Heidi of My Reading Life, and we're doing a story a week. So we'll
Oh,
finish
what a
it.
great idea. Yeah.
We'll talk about it on Voxer, and we'll finish it up at the end of Indigenous one in November. So
Oh, nice.
Alright.
Yeah, that's in my very, very teetering stack of books to take on vacation.
oh my god, I'm just putting my Indigithon TBR together, and oh my god, I'm gonna have fun.
When is
Yeah.
that?
The month of November.
Of November. Okay.
I think
I
it might
haven't-
be a shorter time period within November, but I always ignore that. I just read that stuff, whatever the readathon is, I do it for the whole
Yeah.
month. So
Nice.
That's a good idea.
well,
Yeah.
you guys, I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but I had such a good time doing
This
Same
is
here.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you guys, I think, have an author interview with what's her name, the seed keeper,
Diane
Diane
Wilson.
Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was a delight.
Oh, so sweet.
So
that
sweet.
novel. I'm going to let you go in, I promise, in 45 seconds. But that novel, I loved it so much, and because I didn't think the writing was that great, but everything else about it just grabbed me, and I just was so moved by it, and the story was so wonderful that I just forgave the fact that I didn't think the prose was quite up to my snobby expectation. I absolutely adored that novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. And I think like one of the reasons I liked it is because the writing didn't get in the way.
Mhm.
Well, it
Sometimes
certainly
I
didn't get into
think,
it. It's very
yeah, sometimes I think when writers are trying to be elevated, like I almost kind of feel like,
Sure.
oh, come on, like you're kind of like breaking up the story almost
Yeah.
with your pretty
Oh, that can happen, absolutely. But no, that's got a special place in my heart, that book. So I can't wait to listen to your episode. I haven't had time to do that. Please carry on with your days, and thank you for giving me so much of your time.
Oh, of
Thank
course.
you.
Our pleasure,
Nice to
Sean.
officially e-meet you.
Yes, what a fabulous e-meet. And please come on up to Western Canada any old time.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'd love to.
Take
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 care.
care.